Hey there. So, I recently matched with this man on a dating app. And I went back to read his profile and it said that dating is not as important as it used to be. And I thought, oh, wow. Oh my God, like where are we? What has become of all these singles trying to connect?
What
How can
happened?
dating not be as important as it used to be?
Well, dating is more important than it used to be because we've been isolated and because we've been kind of living in our own cocoons, staying away from people, social distancing. And I'm not saying to go out there and start, being all over mauling people when you meet them. But really,
It's crazy.
I think that's insane.
It is. Well, then, but he did say that he wants to still chat, and he wants to get to know someone, or he's still interested in chatting, but not connecting. I don't get that.
Okay.
So what happens when you're chatting, or even if you go offline and you're texting for months, as we just read, and actually,
Well,
that girl on this
Oh,
okay. So we just read on.
well, actually, we came across a story that we found completely, almost ludicrous. So this woman and man have been chatting online because, of course, you know what? We have been social isolating. We have been in our homes. We have been a little bit kind of reclusive. And this woman and this man have been chatting for 2 months.
Yeah.
Finally, they decided
Well,
to
they
go out.
meet. Yeah, they met. And they said it was great when they met. The chatting went on and on, but there was something that just didn't click. So the day after, she didn't hear from him. The day after, she texted him. He didn't reply.
Well, he ghosted her.
He ghosted her. How mean is that?
Right.
No,
But-
that's friggin' okay. That is mean. I'm sorry.
It's mean because they developed a 2-month relationship. They got intimate with each other through texting.
Yes.
So they went into intimate details about their lives. They talked about things online or even on the phone or however they communicated. They talked about things and they really developed a relationship. And then all of a sudden,
she didn't hear
Right.
from him. So
but if you don't have the chemistry, Mike, this is where we
Okay.
found the problem, right? If you don't have the chemistry in person, then just say so.
just
But he
be an
ghosted
adult.
her?
Okay, that's terrible.
know.
That's just friggin' mean. It's like man up or woman up. I mean, you know what? If there's no chemistry, there's no connection, have the respect and just text the person.
100%.
And just tell them, great meeting you, but just didn't feel the right
100%.
connection. That's it. People need closure.
Right.
We talk about this all the time, right? I mean, that's that.
We talked about this. We talked about this recently in a video on ghosting.
Yes, we
and
did.
you know what? You have to man up or woman up,
Yeah.
and just be honest and say, hey, listen, I'm sorry, I didn't feel the connection. Whether you'd been chatting online for 2 weeks, 2 days, 2 hours, it doesn't really matter. Because really, to be honest with you, we've talked about this and we're huge promoters of this. If you can't have that you
Interaction,
can't
physical
feel
interaction.
chemistry if you don't meet the person. So we are here tonight to talk about go out and meet people.
Just don't get complacent. Seems like people are just kind of getting complacent in staying home, and I don't know, they're unmotivated. So we're here. We need to inspire you. You need to be inspired. You need to
We
go
all
out.
need to be inspired.
Everybody needs to be inspired. You know what? So you need a good friend or someone to say, hey, you just got to get out there, right? Meet and talk and interact. But you need that human interaction. You
Absolutely.
Texting. Listen, at the end of the day, like we always said, text for a couple of days and make the effort and meet the person. Restaurants are open, patios are open. Go out, meet someone, go for a drink, go for a walk.
Right, doesn't mean. So we're not promoting that you're going to go out and be physical with somebody. If you feel and if you're okay and if you're comfortable with that, absolutely, you can go to whatever step that you want to. But going out on a date doesn't mean that you have to be physical, doesn't mean that you don't have to social distance. You can go out for a walk, you can go out for a bike ride, you can go out for a drink where you're sitting, 2 meters apart from each other. But go out
Just get
and
out.
feel
Get out
that
and have
person's
fun. You
energy.
gotta go and have fun. Go and
Exactly.
have fun because I think we're all missing that. I think everybody really
Right.
is in a bit of a
Right.
funk, and you got to get out of that funk. You just gotta
I want to go back to a second to that guy that you matched with. We're not going to name names, and it's not like he did anything wrong. But I just want to know, are we going back to the stages where people want pen pals? Because to be honest with you, being a pen pal, that's great if that's what both parties want. But you have to disclose that in the beginning, being a pen pal, because the other
There's
person
a lot
has
of that
to know.
going on right now because I'm matching with people saying, you know what, hey, I would love it if you would just write to me and send me pictures. I'm thinking, That is your pen pal, and I'm not interested in that.
And it all depends on the kind of pictures that they
Well,
want.
that too, but
Cause come on.
like that, yeah. So
You know what? People are a little bit more explicit in the pictures that they're requesting, and really, if that's your thing, by all means, go ahead. But if that's not your thing, don't feel the pressure to have to do that kind of
No.
stuff, because you know
Just
what? That just it's
delete
kind
and move on. Delete and move on.
I love that.
Delete and move on.
We are very into moving on, as you've noticed through our other videos. We are very into just saying, next, who's next? Because life is short, and if that person is not wanting the same things that you do, then
Don't
you
waste
know
your
what?
time. Because
Exactly.
you know what? You're wasting your time when there's someone out there that will want to be with you.
Exactly.
And is the right person for you.
And
right?
you're not giving opportunity to other people to meet and chat with you and have that opportunity to interact with
So
you.
I think it's, yeah. So
Very
it's really,
important.
Yeah, it's very important to also know when it's time to move on, right? So
Sometimes
if you're not
we all don't
feeling-
know.
We don't. But you know what? Follow your gut. It's all, what do they say? You know, your brain tells you one thing, your heart tells you something else, but your gut is always right. So you got to follow your gut. If something doesn't feel right, and you know, if this person is not engaging and going that extra step to really kind of make conversation and get to know you, you know what?
Right.
Really, just move on. You don't want to waste time. You don't
And
want
to
waste
be
time.
honest with you, if they don't make the effort in wanting to meet you, then you really have to reconsider what you're doing with this person. You know what? We have experienced that many times. So it's not, isolated to a certain person or a certain type of person. Everybody, it happens to everybody. So you have to know when to let that go, because it's just a waste of time. We all know that all of our time is very precious, and we don't have a full-time job on dating apps.
No.
Because
No,
it
we
is a
don't.
full-time job. But when you have an interest or a spark with somebody else, absolutely. But really, we are huge promoters of chat a little bit, get to know each other. If you feel a good vibe with that person, go meet them. Don't waste time.
Don't waste time.
Really, a week of chatting, then go out and
Yeah.
meet. And again, I say, it doesn't mean you have to be physical. So you can be socially, distancing, and you can be, responsible and meeting that person without feeling uncomfortable. So really, you must go out to see if the chemistry is right, to whether you're
Yes.
going to
And just
pursue that
connect,
relationship
right?
or not.
Just connect.
Absolutely.
And
It's very important to connect with people, and it's very important to set your standards with the people that you're connecting with, because we're all in kind of funny times. So we've kind of been a little bit lenient with some of the people that we may have been chatting with.
I mean, because I think people get desperate too, right? People are lonely, and I think especially now what we're going through. I mean, when it all started, when it started in February or March, a
Right.
lot of single people realized how much they didn't want to be single, right? They were looking like frantically for a partner, and everybody was like really active
Right.
and engaged and really getting to know someone virtually or whatever it took. And then people got a little
Well, also there's a lot of
discouraged, I guess,
Yes.
or just discouraged,
Yes.
I would say, because when you can't meet the person, right, you can't get to that second stage, and and even if people are giving you a number and then you don't use it, it's like what is going on? What is going on with you people? I know that I would love to be with the right person.
everybody wants to be with
Everybody
the right
wants to be
person,
with
but
the
you
right
have to go and you
But
have
it's
to
not
date.
going to come to you.
Right.
You have to.
But you also have to date many people to
Yes.
get to the right person, because you don't know what you want until you start seeing what you don't want. And that is a really important part about dating. So you have to go out there and date. You have to see who you like and who you don't like. You might love somebody through text. They might be the most amazing person in the world. And when you meet them, they're as dull as a shoe. That's not right.
No, it's not. It's not.
And that happens more often than not, unfortunately, because it's easy to be whoever you want to be behind a keyboard. And we all know that. We all know that. We've all experienced stuff like that from when we were quite young. It's easy to hide behind words as opposed to being with somebody in person. So this is a really important lesson that we've all learned during this isolation, that it may be that perfect person that you're chatting with for 2 hours or 2 days or 2 weeks or
Yes.
2 months, but if you don't have that personal
That interaction, that chemistry,
Right.
is a chemistry,
and
right?
you only find that by actually being around that person's energy and seeing who that person really is. So we are huge promoters of going out on a date. Go out and meet people.
That's
right?
it. So stop staying home. Don't get complacent, and get out there and hopefully
Support your local businesses. They need your help, so go out and do it. And a date to boot, right?
And a date to boot, that's it. Go have some fun, because it's well deserved.
Yes, go have some fun. We'll see you next week. Bye.